Finally, beloved, I was able to embark the heavenly chariot of the chief angel Gabriel, and he drove towards the kingdom of God. He said, now we are heading to the kingdom of heaven. He talked to me about the wonders and mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But when we reach a place in the galaxy before we arrive to the kingdom of heaven, the chief angel said, Aston, we must pass somewhere before heading to heaven. The first place of your visit is the place of disputed bodies. Jude 9. But even the Archangel Michael, when he disputed with the devil over the body of Moses, did not presume to bring a slanderous charge against him, but said, the Lord rebuke you. I asked the chief angel Gabriel, what does it mean, the place of disputed bodies? He replied, it is a place of test for believers, a place where the goods of the children of God are acclaimed. The enemy claimed them in the body of people, but the Lord checked whether spiritual principles were kept by the believer, in order to release them to the believer. But in case the believer failed to observe the spiritual principles, the enemy may grab them. The chief angel was telling me about mysteries when suddenly his convoy and his delegation arrived in a place that was the most beautiful city I ever saw in the world. All I saw in this city were abandoned goods. Everything we have on the earth was there. You know, when you have parked your car in a car park and traveled maybe for 6 months and that no one has been using and washing it, there will be sand. When you entered an abandoned house or an abandoned depot filled with abandoned goods, you will see they have lost their beauty, for no one take care of them. It's precisely how the goods were in this kingdom. It was a massive place with abandoned house, abandoned cars, and money. Even body parts were here, and they were well wrapped but abandoned. There were womb, liver and heart, they were wrapped but abandoned. There were houses and many items that I cannot mention. Things were like when you abandoned goods in depot for a long time. I wonder if this was a warehouse. The angel said that is not the case. It is the place of contestation. Confrontation happen here when a blessing come from heaven in order to reach men on the earth. The blessing has to pass through this place of contestation between the emissaries of Satan and angels that are deployed here. In this place the envoy of Satan can test all the blessing, but the purpose of the angels of God in this place is testing the believer, to see if they are fit to receive. In case the enemy make the case that has foundation, the blessing will remain in this place and the believer will lose it. Whenever an angel arrive in this place of contestation with a blessing, he would first make sure that the saint on the earth has kept the spiritual principles, otherwise his good will stay here. I was really curious about these mysteries and I wanted to know more. Then I saw a new car that was parked there unattended before us. There was a label which was the name of a woman called Jeanette. The car was a Palisade. I asked the chief angel, why was the car abandoned here? He replied, when people ask the Lord something, and when God is about to bless a man or woman, he will put them in a spiritual test, like an exam in the spirit. It is when you pass the test that the Lord released the blessing in your life. Since I wanted to know about the car with the name of Jeanette, Gabriel said this car belonged to Sister Jeanette, but she lost it. Sister Jeanette bought a place that was far from his workplace and far from children's school. She did not have a lot of money to buy a car. In fact, the money she bought the house was an inheritance left to his husband by his father-in-law. Sister Jeanette wanted the car, for this will allow her to get to work and drop the children to school. She stay longer in the presence of God seeking this car because his work was really far, and she persevere in God's presence for some years, and the Lord finally decided to give her a car. The Lord sent a delegation of angels with a car to give her. You must understand that material blessing come from the spiritual world, and unless you take it by force in the spirit world through reclamation, you won't touch it in the physical. You must obtain it in the spirit in order to get it in the physical. The chief angel said a strong delegation of angels arrived in this place of contestation with Sister Jeanette car. Yet the principles of God in the place of contestation is that anyone that is about to receive a blessing from God must be tested, and since Sister Jeanette's blessing was on the way, she was about to be tested, and God was to send Sister Jeanette a man in need of assistance. If only Sister Jeanette can help the man in need with the little she has, she would be able to get her car. Sister Jeanette received a man who was in need of $20. This man child at school was asked to bring $20 fee. But the man did not have $20 at that moment because the Lord wanted him to be in that situation, and he came to knock at Sister Jeanette's gate early morning. The man told Sister Jeanette, I have tried to talk to my neighbor and friend but they said to me they don't have it. Sister Jeanette said, tell me what you want. He said, I needed $20 for the child's school trip but I don't have it. The man had not even finished speaking when Sister Jeanette interrupted him, telling him that she does not have the money. The chief angel said Sister Jeanette had $40 in his house that was not in her spending program. She could have given the man $20. She will be fine because the money was not programmed for something. This is how Sister Jeanette failed the test and lost the Palisade car, that the Lord sent this delegation of angel to bring her, yet her prayer was already answered. She prayed for many years to have this car, and after persevering in prayer for many years she lost her Palisade car just because of $20. The chief angel said, Sister Jeanette failed in this test of generosity, which is a weak test that bring about great blessing. Because of a little test of generosity she lost a big blessing. When God wants to give the believers a blessing, He often subject them to this test of generosity, to see if they have the heart to do to others what they are asking God to do to them. Jeremiah 17 verse 4, you will, on your own, relinquish your inheritance that I gave you. Luke 6 verse 31, in everything, then, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this is the essence of the law and the prophets. How many saints have lost their blessing because they have failed the test of God? They have lost their inheritance. Another saint failed the test of generosity because of refusal to share his lunch with a visitor. Yet God has already sent the delegation of angels with a job that he has been asking for 10 years. When the angels were in the place of contestation with the job he had been asking for many years in mountain, retreat and fasting, his test of generosity consisted on sharing his bread with a visitor, but this brother hid the bread beneath the table. As a result he lost the blessing in the place of contestation, and where he hid the bread the mouse came quickly and stole it, for he never ate that bread. The chief angel said, among people that God made on the earth some are channel of blessing for others. These are people that God used in order to reach and bless others. He start by blessing these people because may depend on them. In this place I saw a new intestine that was wrapped very well but abandoned. Since I was curious, the chief angel told me, this intestine came from heaven because there was a man who was suffering from cancer. He had been to many countries such as South Africa and India seeking treatment. He was told in less than 2 years he will die. He came back to Congo in despair. But given that her wife was a Christian, she went from one man of God to another seeking a miracle from God, until she met an authentic man of God, who came to visit them and found them in despair. The servant of God declared that the man will not die, he will live. The young servant said to the old man, I am a servant of God and I believe that you will not die. Altogether with this family they purpose 14 days of prayer, which shook heaven, and the Lord answered his servant prayer favorably. The Lord sent a delegation of angel of healing with this new intestine for the old man. When the delegation of angels were on their way to earth, the angels of test of generosity descended to earth, because the Lord determined that this man will receive his blessing only if he offer alms. One of the angel of test took human shape in the street, where the car of the old man was passing. When there was a traffic, the car of the old man stopped in the traffic. Suddenly he saw a man approaching his car window asking for alms. This was actually the angel of test of generosity. He told the old man, I need some change because I have not eaten since morning. The old man that had cancer said, stop bothering me, I have my own problem that has no solution, so stop bothering me. He refused to give the change to this angel of blessing that have come to prepare the way for his blessing. Since the Lord had linked his healing with the seed of alms, the man lost his blessing because he failed in the test of generosity, and said in his mouth there is no solution. The chief angel informed me that after a time this old man died from cancer, yet his healing was on the way. He refused to assist a man in need, yet this man was an angel of healing. In this place I found liver abandoned. The angel said, it is for a child of a woman. The child had the liver cirrhosis and was supposed to undergo operation, but the mother had no money and was praying for the child healing. When the mother remembered that a friend owed her money, that should have been paid long time ago, she went to explain to her friend about her child's sickness so that she would pay back the debt, But her friend said, I understand and sympathize with the situation of the child, but at this precise moment I don't have the money to give you. Give me some more days and I will pay you back. Gabriel said that his woman who owed money was also a woman of prayer. When she learned about the child's sickness, she also began to pray for the healing of the child. After some days later, the mother of the child came to ask for money again, and since the woman was unable to pay the debt, this mother insulted her friend who owed her the money. She abused her verbally in public. As a result of this action, the mother of the child lost the liver that the angel of healing brought to her child. When we move a little bit, I saw in this place white sand in the basket. These white sands shone like crystal. The angel said these white sands represent the number of members that the Lord gave a pastor who was asking more souls in his church, and the Lord promised that he will have a big church in a period of 6 years. When the 6 years have passed, the Lord sent 2 angels with the crowds that was to fill the church. The 2 angels arrive at the place of contestation. When they check if God's principles were kept in this church, they saw that the pastor does not care about the orphan, the widow and the poor. He was enjoying all the money of offering and tithe for himself. He was greedy and became fat because of money offering. He did not mind the poor and vulnerable in the church. When the angels came, they could not evangelize to attract the crowds. Gabriel said, when the church does not do alms and ignore the orphan and the widow, this attract curse. Assisting the poor bring God favor. It give victory in spiritual battle and opened spiritual gate. When a church practice charity, it become blessed and this blessing flow in the life of the member. We left that place and arrived before a leg that was abandoned. The chief angel told me, you see this leg, a man had a problem with his feet. The doctor proposed to amputate his leg, but his pastor was against this idea and said, whatever the gravity of the problem, I believe in the covenant I have with my God. I believe that my God is able to heal you, and the pastor prayed for him. When he went home, his wife said, I believe in the word of the man of God, but we should do what the doctor said. The man preferred to hear his wife instead of the man of God, yet his blessing was on the way in the place of contestation and he lost his blessing. The only way where God lead his people is the way of faith, said the archangel. Then we got before a compound that was bound in chains. The chief angel said, this compound that you see should been to earth already, but if it is here, it is because the person who is supposed to receive it has failed to do what he was supposed to do. I asked Gabriel, what is he supposed to do and why is this compound bound in chain? He replied to me, this man has enough money to buy a place, but for 2 years he has been looking for a place and could not find. Since he was unable to find what he was looking for, he should have taken offering from the money he was keeping, and give to God a seed, and this will liberate the house that you see bound. The chief angel told me, when you are suffering with something, it means that this does not belong to you, it's a seed. When you have a car that is causing you trouble, that's mean that the Lord want to give you a new car, because the car you have presently is a seed and it must go. If what you have is not enough for you, it is a seed. Everything that does not belong to you is not yours, it's a seed. Unless you get rid of it, you won't get a new one. The angel explained that there are 2 degrees of seed. In the first degree, the man himself take the initiative to sow a seed in order to see God's hand in his undertaking. But there are seed that the Lord imposed in the life of man, and the Lord will impose a seed when he want to do something very important in the life of the person. Many people don't enjoy their blessing because they lack seed to sow. God will ask to sow a seed before he will bless you. Unless you sow a seed, you may wait longer, for where prayer and effort fail to resolve the issue, the seed will do it. You may have a situation where offering and seed remain the last key to unlock it, because you have prayed for long enough. Seed will change and move situations that are stronger than our prayer. Seed can end long battle that prayer has failed to resolve. There are problems and situations subjected to the law of seed, in this world, that situation that are beyond our ability, and there are fight that are stronger than us. You can pray as much as you can, but it's only when you sow a seed that you will get a victory.